choose to love with freedom flies from my heart where the light keeps shining, and I choose to feel the whole world crying for the strength that we can rise above. I choose love.
Hi, this is Ina Marie Hale.
And this is Larry Reynolds.
We are from Grace Healing Ministries, and
Yes.
so grateful for the opportunity to serve you within God's love.
Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And as you know, the mandate within Grace Healing is first we establish a prayer of protection over you, and the hope that God's divine grace will bless you with whatever words you're to receive through your journey, and free you from any words that are not to be received at this time within your journey or within your process of belief. So we offer thanksgiving, and we surrender first unto our Creator, Yahweh Elohim Ature Kavriush Vesiriandre, Yeshua Olabashinsiation Vikeliondrovo, Amun Salakondre Vismisiliandre Shinakum. And I get the sense at this point during this stage of the video, I'm supposed to back up for just a moment. When you hear the word Yeshua, this is what Christianity and mankind have come to know as Jesus.
Yes.
And I know this is a basic teaching, and we have covered this many times in the past.
Yes.
But, I mean, we're in excess of 50 videos into this process. And I just want to remind you that Yeshua is the original name, and it comes from Yahweh. It comes from Yah. And the name Yeshua actually derives from the Spirit of God, the first utterance of God's word, which was Yeshua, to establish an image of God's self, so that all things of creation that were about to be manifested would have a knowing of God's presence. But Yeshua's physical form was physically manifested in order that we might recognize Yeshua as the Messiah, meaning the one to reveal the living presence of God. And it's back to what we've been speaking over the last few video segments of the importance of understanding the essence of what we believe.
Yes.
The essence of what we're sharing about the essence of God's Spirit, not just a concept of seeing the face of God or seeing Yeshua or seeing Jesus or drawing to our mansion within the skies. It's moving it to a spiritual realization of what God is. Absolute perfection, absolute purity, absolute unity, absolute grace, faith, omnipresence, omnipotence. And one of the main premises that we try to share with people through Grace Healing is the importance of understanding that you are fully equipped with God's Spirit within you. And as we said in the closing of one of the previous videos, it's not about the gifts and talents you hold. It's not about your excelled abilities. It's about what can those become when you've become practiced in the ability to center in and sit with God's presence. Then relinquishing the things that you think define you, like, oh, he's a great athlete, or she's a tremendous athlete, or he's a fantastic manager, or she's an amazing teacher. What if every day we returned home to God's presence, sat with God's presence, and actually breathed? And again, as I've said earlier in many previous videos, I'm not talking about the short breath that people do as they're living their lives. This short, choppy breath that comes to maybe here in their bodies or maybe here. I'm talking about sitting in God's presence. There's a whole teaching on it about the importance of understanding the simple 21 breaths.
And again, that's on our
Grace Healing
Grace
YouTube.
Healing YouTube.
Yep.
That you can go to.
Grace Healing Ministries YouTube channel.
Yeah, we have to
Yes.
make that clear. Pull those things up.
Yeah, again, and we had stated this before, that Grace Healing, people punch that in, and then they only end up with like 1 or 2 thumbnails of what we have. Grace Healing Ministries YouTube channel will connect you to the whole library of 50-plus episodes for all the things that we've shared through Grace Healing, and why so many people have experienced healing within themselves, why they have discovered new recognitions of God's presence in ways that they've never known before. Ina speaks to it regularly, that she obviously had a deep and powerful prayer presence with God, But in the process of learning through Grace Healing, she's recognized an even deeper knowing of God's living essence within her. Not something she must attain or pursue. It's something she must surrender and allow to exist in the fullness of that which is God.
Yes.
And that can only come as we relinquish veils and things that we've rested upon ourselves that diminish or separate ourselves from the things that we are learning, or the things that we are blessed to know, or the knowledge that we are given. In my experience, I've learned that even when I receive blessing from God, at the completion of my day, I relinquish those things of blessing back to God.
And many would say, why in the world are you doing that?
Because God is the perfect custodian of all things blessed. If I receive something of blessing, something so beyond description, I will diminish it by the nature of the veils that I hold within me. And I'm talking about veils of knowledge. So if I've received something of wisdom, or something of healing grace, or something of great wisdom beyond the normal level of humanity, and I hold it within me, I have now reduced it to what Larry can offer.
Yeah.
So if I've been seen as a teacher, or like people have different names for me now, and I don't agree with them, because I agree that it is God's presence within me that does all these things. I surrender and submit myself to God before I engage in anything that I'm about to undertake. Even the building work that I do, which funds most of Grace Healing, I submit myself into God, so that God would increase the effectiveness of my hands through the tasks I take on, whether it's painting a board, painting trim, building something, manufacturing something, whatever. Let God's Spirit govern the nature of my actions, so that God's glory would be known, not just my skill or the result of my efforts.
Yes.
And it is my hope that it would magnify God, not Larry.
And that's where, when you get to that place in your relationship, you don't let the things of the earth bother you, whatever work that is that you're doing.
Right.
I mean, and that's developing that relationship, because then it gets turned around into, I do this unto him, or I do this unto my God.
Yes.
And again, what you're sharing, because we could all have the attitudes and whatever it is that you're called to upon the earth, and your gifts and talents, they're not used to the fullness that God has for you, not only for reaching people but for the full potential upon this earth that he has in the way of finances, whatever it is that you are in need of. As long as you're seeking him first, surrendering all unto him, and just receiving his love and walking in that. That's why, again, I go back to just keeping it simple. And that's where the essence of God can be revealed, just in the love of who God is in your personal relationship, just surrendering. And that's where it came from me. Again, we spoke about that.
Yep.
As the essence. I didn't go looking for that. And I'd heard that in the teachings and that through Grace Healing, you know. But in the last year, it just really, like, wham, bam, it just hit me.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it, but just, again, it coming back.
It's a difference between
presence.
knowing and living it.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are still searching and wondering, why isn't God doing this? Why isn't he doing that for me? What's going on in my life? Why did I lose this person? Why am I going through this sickness?
Or why am I doing this within my life at this time?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many questions.
I want to touch to that about the essence of God, and like we were just talking about the surrendering of knowledge that we gain, surrendering of understanding, or even, again, we talked about this for people that are in a work setting. If they're a gifted manager, or they're a gifted technician, or they're a gifted IT individual that works with information technologies, yet they go home each day, and even though they say they love what they do, they're exhausted.
That's
or
true.
They have a project coming up. They're intimidated by it. Or they're sitting there looking at, oh my God, how am I going to make it through 50 hours this week?
Yeah.
It's because people have forgotten that they're not going to 50 hours worth of work. They're going to 50 hours with the opportunity to reveal God.
Yeah. That's
And what
right.
happens is you don't just reveal the nature of your skills, abilities, and talents, whether it's in the sales process or the business process or the management process. You're in a position where God's presence will rise through you to make you a better salesperson, to make you a better manager, to make you a better technician or manufacturer. And in that, you will find a storehouse of God's presence rising within you, and you will find that you are strengthened and renewed, and our sustainer, Yahweh, sustained through the nature of your calling upon the earth, through your job and your life calling. They may be the same. They may be two different divergent things. One supports the other, kind of like mine with the building. I'm blessed to do the building work that I do, and it generates resources and funds that support Grace Healing, and it also blesses me to see people in situations that are clients that I get to just pray and love them while I'm working on their home, to pray a greater blessing upon their lives, a greater blessing upon their union with one another, a greater blessing upon their children if they happen to have children that are sick or something, or loved ones that have just passed. It moves me to a place that I'm not exhausted by the end of the day, because I was doing all this physical activity, because the physical activity was inclusive of revealing God's presence. And I return home as a single dad, full-time single dad, to my 13-year-old son, and I'm enlivened, and would you say that I'm energetic with him and able to move and keep forward, produce his meals, all the things we have to do as a parent.
Yes.
But it's because I also see that that's the opportunity to reveal for my son God.
And again, you've put God first.
Yes, exactly.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. You know, so that's a different perspective and perception on the way you look at it, the way I look at it, and how other brothers and sisters, God's children, look at their lives.
Yes.
And it's a choice. That's why God's not going to invade on you. He's already within you, but it's your choice to walk in that great love that He has for you. Extend whatever job that you are in, or maybe you're not working and you're at home, a mother, and you feel unworthy. There are those things that do rise, but if you develop that relationship, it's just seeking God first, center into God's very presence, and it's not about what you have to do, it's just receiving. And that is what we want to come across in Grace Healing. It's about the love of God.
Yes.
And how much He loves you. Yes, you.
And from within that love, if you are willing to do as Ina has suggested over the past few videos, to surrender to that which is God within you, the essence of God's presence within you, that means all the attributes of God's Spirit within you, what can that become? Not you as a gifted athlete, but you as an athlete performing as God's presence, allowing for God to increase the effectiveness of your ability to run, lift weights, do whatever. Offering all things back unto God, to recognize that it is God that compels the strength and vibrance within your body to reveal glory, which is healthy, vibrant life, energized, purity of thought, clarity of mind. And again, even as people go into a gym or something like that, are they going in there with the purity of thought? Or are they in there in a state of vanity, spiritual vanity, because they're compelled to do this to make themselves look a certain way?
Yes.
What if you could go into that setting with the absolute clarity that you are God's presence, lifting, moving the weights, and bringing strength and vitality to your body as you bless the other bodies that you witness in their process? You witness a person that's doing something slightly off in the way that they're structured on a weightlifting machine. You see that they could bring harm to their body, so you're praying for them as you're going through your exercise for increased wisdom and discernment in their actions, so that God's presence rises within their body to move them to a place of greater health and vitality.
And there's probably many people that know God, but they've never, that's not something that's even in their, on their radar.
Right, exactly.
Because of it that just comes with developing your relationship with God, and it just grows from there. You just automatically just want to extend that love that is within you unto others.
Right.
And it's not like you're lacking or anything like that, because we all go through things in life. We do call upon God in our relationship of where we are, but that is so true. It's our perspective and perception of how we carry ourselves upon this earth and the choices that we make. And so again, here at Grace Healing, what we want to share is, again, the love of God and how much He loves you.
Yes.
Oh.
And we are honored to stand with you in the fullness of God's love throughout all of your journey. If you have any needs, any prayer needs, please go to gracehealing.org, submit them through the email communications,
Yes.
or reach out to us on the phone numbers that are present on the website. Please check out Grace Healing Ministries YouTube channel, and you'll see the excess of 50 episodes that you can look into. Evaluate this process that we share through Grace Healing, and you'll begin to understand why we see so many things of a miraculous nature unfolding for those people that do reach out.
Yes.
So again, we stand within God's love, thanksgiving, praise, and worship for His divine presence, her holy wisdom, and the opportunity to reveal to you each day God's presence through love, whether it be through these videos or the conference calls that we do each Monday, or any dialogue that we present to you through the audios that are present on the gracehealing.org website. We are honored to stand with you in love and offer thanksgiving through the most precious, holy name that is Yahweh, Yeshua, Abun Solaotam Kuhiri Spasiri Andareshnu Kundriya. Amen.
Amen.
We love you all.
We love you. God bless.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.